Now moving over, hundreds of residents in Mogadishu demonstrated on Friday in response to U.S. President Donald Trump's recent comments describing Somali immigrants as garbage, remarks that have intensified tensions between Washington and Somalia's global diaspora communities. Let's take a look.
I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
Trump's statements made during a cabinet meeting earlier in the week included claims that Somali Americans contribute nothing to the United States. The comments immediately drew criticism from U.S. lawmakers, Somali officials, and community leaders who said the remarks fueled xenophobia and undermined the contributions of immigrant communities. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar responded to Trump's comments. Let's take a listen.
The president has always had very bigoted, xenophobic, Islamophobic comments when it comes to, people who are of Muslim faith or people who are Black. We've seen him call African nations as shitholes, and so it's not really surprising. But what is weird to me is just how creepy he's been obsessed with me and the Somali community. I mean, the Somali community is very resilient. We're very strong. We are not going to be intimidated or scapegoated. And I think we are seeing just an outpouring of support from our Minnesota neighbors. And so I just know that this is not going to cause any harm to our community.
Ilhan's take over there. Now we see that in Mogadishu, protesters marched through the street holding photos of U.S. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, one of the most prominent Somali American officials and a frequent critic of the Trump administration. Demonstrators denounced the remarks as an attack on their dignity and national identity, framing the comment as part of a broader pattern of hostility towards immigrants. Let's take a look. Congresswoman seems to be the hero for the Somalis. Now, an estimated 250,000 Somalis live in the United States, many of them in Minnesota, where Trump's remarks were linked to reports of fraud in state social security programs, issues that local officials say cannot be used to generalize an entire community. Minnesota's leadership, including Governor Tim Walz, has condemned the president's language. We see that the protests in Mogadishu highlights the continuing sensitivity around identity, migration, and political rhetoric issues that resonate far beyond U.S. borders and raises the clear question about how such statements influence America's relationship when it comes to the diaspora population and even African partners. Now, this is development right here.